Okay, in this project, as you can see, I've got this this clamp here, and it's over the years it's gotten a bit of moisture and a lot of surface rust. So I want to get rid of all that because, you know, it's not always smooth when you're trying to clamp things. It's really jammed there. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that rust off, and we're going to make this metal nice and shiny and smooth. And what we're going to do first is I've got some sandpaper here. Now there's different types of sandpaper. This white one, well, at least in Australia, I'm not sure it's the same as other countries, but this one's generally used for painting, for painted surfaces. And the reason being it allows it to clog quite a bit before it's not usable anymore, whereas something like this, which is for metal, clogs very quickly. So the process will be, so I'll take the rust off with this, with this sandpaper, and once we've done that, then we're going to smooth out the metal with wet and dry paper, which is this is a metal one, but I'm going to work my way up the grits. So I'll probably start at something like 240, and I'll probably go up to around 1500, 2000 grit, so it'll be really, really shiny, polished metal. And then after that, to protect the metal, I'm going to use a very thin layer of grease. And so yeah, I've done that on other ones, and it works quite well actually. And if you're thinking that it'll be too shiny or too smooth for the clamp to work, that's actually not the case at all. It clamps really, really well. It just means that it's nice and easy to move. I've got one here. Let's have a look at one I've got. So here's one I've done ages ago. You can really see in the camera there, but it's very, very smooth, and it clamps really, really well. But these are sort of cheap clamps anyway. But anyway, you know, sort of make them work. So we'll get onto it. But one thing I do sort of say, I think you should use, I've got to actually repair mine, I've got to get some new things with this, filters. Wear a dust mask, because you're going to be sanding off all this rust and God knows what else, so I think it's really worthwhile to wear something like this. Just got my mask on, but just taking off for a second, but I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's a really big lump. That's why it was getting stuck before. So. Alright, so that's pretty much the rust off. Also gets out a little bit of the scratches that you get sometimes on the top, which also makes it jam a bit. It's still there, but I'll now go to the wet and dry sandpaper, but I'm not going to use any water, just use it dry. So let's have a look, see what I can find. Okay, so I found some different sandpapers. I've got a 240 here, which is good. So in case you don't know about what the numbers mean, this means how coarse the grit is. So when you touch the sandpaper, you can feel how coarse it is. So 240's coarse, and as you go up with the numbers, the grit gets finer and finer. So you're probably not going to notice much difference between these two. There is a difference. You slightly feel it. But something like, so this one here, this is 1500 grit. This is a bit of an old bit, but it's so smooth I can almost not even feel the grit at all. Just feels like a shiny bit of paper almost. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work my way up, and through the grits. Alright, so that's 240 grit. So the point of the grits, the reason you work your way up, is you're trying to get out the scratches from the coarse grit before. And I'm not doing it here; it's still pretty scratched, but you can go as much as you want to. But if you jump too far between grits, so if you jump from like a 120 to a 400, it's too much work in between. That's why you work your way up through them. And I paused for a second there. I'm not sure if you noticed there was a spider running across. At first I thought it may have been a redback, because there was a redback in here a little while ago, and but it was only a little one anyway. So, well, this one anyway, but the other one was a big one. So I didn't really want to get bitten by one of them. There's a lot of spiders around at the moment. So anyway, go up to the next bit. Alright, so that was 1500 grit. I'm pretty sure I got 2000 in somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Alright, so this is 2000. I'm a bit out of breath. Takes a lot out of you doing this, especially in the garage, because it's well, it's not too hot today. It's 28 degrees Celsius, so I'm not sure what that is Fahrenheit, but it's pretty warm in the garage. It'd be easily, 35 or warmer, just from the sheer heat, the radiant heat coming off the corrugated iron. So anyway, get back on this. Alright, I'm done with the sanding. Whew, a bit of a break really. But, I've got my grease now. That's the next step. What I'm going to do first is just get a cloth. I had it a second ago. Just a rag. Wipe it down first. What? Oh, I've got this here. So I just want to wipe off all the metal shavings and things like that. I know there's still a little bit of rust on the edges. I could have taken this off, and that way I could have got right to the edge. I didn't do it on this one. Just wanted to really show this way how to do it. On the other ones I've done, I've taken that off. Thing is though, the other side is a little bit harder because there's a type of rivet, and unless I, drill that out and put another one in, there's no other really way I can do it to try and get those bits of rust, and which is not great having a little bit of rust because rust does spread. So this, may get a little bit more rusty over time. The grease will help a bit. The other thing you could use is like a Rust-Oleum or something to to kill the rust. You could do that as well. So I'll just grab a rag. Right, so here we go. So I've got the rust, grease. Right. I love using grease, so it's fantastic. Use it on I've got a CNC router as well, and I use it on that when I make things sometimes. But to be honest, I like to do most things by hand. And the router has its purpose, but it takes a lot of the joy out of making things or doing things yourself with your own hands. So, you're learning a skill, but also just enjoying the process. And also things that are done on machines, I think they just lose the charm of handmade things, But unfortunately, a lot of people do that now because of, I guess, just the sort of mentality we have today that everybody wants everything sort of cheap, and handmade things generally aren't cheap. And a lot of people don't want to pay for that, but obviously people are still trying to make money when they go to the markets or whatever, or selling online like Etsy or whatever. So they might use a machine to help them. But yeah, look, I'm happy to pay a good price for handmade things. I think it's worth it. But I had some years ago, I think one of my YouTube things, I got a big Celtic blanket chest box that I made, and I was going to sell it, and somebody offered me like $100. I thought, yeah, I spent more on that just on buying like stain and the hinge and everything and other bits. So because I said, look, I was going to sell it for, I can't remember how much it was now, X amount, but they thought it was a rip-off. But other people, sort of said, it was online, so one of those buy, swap, sell things. So I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think you have any idea how much work goes into something like that. Because it took me on and off about 2-3 weeks making it, so it was a lot of work, but it was enjoyable. Anyway, this is pretty good to go now. So look at that, it's just beautiful. It's so easy to slide, and I can clamp it. So it does clamp. So let's give this a bit of white around here though. And that's sort of how I've gone about it. So anyway, this is what I've done. You might have your own thing that you might want to do. You might think what I've done is complete crap. Anyway, it works for me, and I've got a few more things that are like that, but I'm not going to do them today. I'm just way too hot now and exhausted from doing that. So anyway, hopefully you get something out of it, and you'll certainly find it's a big workout if you do it all all by hand like that. So you could probably use, I don't know, like an electric sander of some kind, I guess, but you got to be careful with that because you'll eat away the metal very quickly doing that. So anyway, till next time, I hope you enjoyed.